Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back reacting to season 2 of The Witcher. This is episode 1. It is called A Grain of Truth. It's good to be back. Before we jump into this, please consider leaving a like on the video. That means a ton to me, helps my videos get seen more in general. If you are new here, consider subscribing, stick around, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if the full uncut reaction to this episode is something that interests you, consider checking out my Patreon. I post all my full uncut reactions over there. Because this is the first episode of a new season, I will be posting that uncut completely public so anyone can see it and see if that's something you're interested in going forward. On Patreon, you can also become a super supporter and get featured in every single one of my videos. But what happened last season on The Witcher? So what we left off with was we had the whole big battle. Yennefer unleashed her fire magic on the Nilfgaardian army, and then we had Geralt and Ciri coming together at the end, and Ciri's like, who's Yennefer? And so we don't know where Yennefer is currently. I assume we will find out fairly soon, but Geralt and Ciri have been united, not reunited, just united in general, and now we're gonna see what happens. The little synopsis, just to kind of gauge where this is generally gonna go for the season. The first episode synopsis says, Geralt sets off with Ciri on a journey that leads him to an old friend. After the Battle of Sodden, Tissaia shows no mercy in her search for information. So obviously some of the mages are trying to find Yennefer because she disappeared, and then Geralt and Ciri are going to be venturing off in their own way. So I'm super excited to jump into it. Last season, this show did pretty decently on the channel, and since then I've gained a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new fantasy subscribers, especially with the Wheel of Time. So if you are someone who came from the Wheel of Time, hopefully you like The Witcher as well. Yeah, great to have you here. Otherwise, I'm gonna jump right into this episode. So here we go. Just have someone pulling it on a string. That is... I don't know. Hey, Colin.
Hello?
This whole town's dead.
Hello? I'm in need of lodgings for the night.
Unless a monster's about to knife you in the face.
I'm in need of lodgings.
Oh.
Sure.
Bro. That's okay. Starting off hot. Lady, why? You need to quit it. She got ripped in half. You're next. Sorry. Oh man, I love the intro sequences for this show. Just the weird chanting music. This must be the aftermath of the battle, yeah, because everything's on fire. That's a lot of bodies. That's a lot of bodies. Is she like reading their minds? Oh. Okay. You bid.
Yennefer.
Oh, his face. It's like just completely caved in. Oh, yep, from a horse. That makes sense. They are not shying away.
Yennefer. Yennefer!
Jennifer!
Geralt. Darling, where are you? I brought a new magic daughter for us.
I've seen this.
There's so many shots of them just walking through the woods, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
We can't.
I sleep like shit too.
You don't sleep at all.
Makes a few nightmares. Except for the one about the rock troll. Overly friendly. Finished to shake.
That's Geralt's nightmares. People trying to be friends with him. He only has one friend. His name is Jaskier. Dandelion.
I need to understand some things. You claim the law of surprising got me. Why?
As payment for a debt. I saved your father's life.
From what?
Your grandmother. She didn't want your mother marrying
Porcupine.
an outsider. Your father didn't know what he was giving up.
That looks like the place in Game of Thrones, honestly.
Triss, stay with us.
Oh, Triss can't die, no way. Triss is the goat.
Label coin to this and Gerish quis grunchile.
Listen, her.
Inchile quis perte. Thankfully quis cove.
She's important, so they need multiple people to heal her. Triss Marigold. My preferred love interest of Geralt, in the games at least. In the book, or in the show, Yennefer is pretty dope. But definitely in The Witcher 2 and 3, I was fully on board Team Triss.
And that he doesn't answer to the generals, only to the Emperor himself. No one's
Interesting.
been able to break him.
You will give us everything.
Is that the Black Knight? Right?
We have rules.
She wasn't asking your permission.
She's gonna torture this dude whether you're okay with it or not. She's like, this is what's happening, man. Just letting you know. Yennefer. You look tied up. Or maybe that's just part of your dress. Oh, no, you're, tied up.
So, what exactly is Kaer Morhen?
It's a dope castle.
My home.
Closest
I've
thing
never
to
heard
it.
of it.
It was
I've been
destroyed.
lucky that way.
Why?
Because if people knew about it, they would hunt witchers down. Nightmare of the Wolf.
In Sintra, I used to dress up like a boy just so I could play knuckle bones.
Yeah, he saw you. Dead dog? Dead deer? He's like, I'm gonna need a sword right quick.
We should keep moving.
Spookies. I assume they're gonna run into whatever killed those people at the beginning, right? Yep. Exactly where those people died. Interesting. Reminds me of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe with all the statues, but
Stay on the road.
okay, they're trying to scare him away. Oh, that's that's
Geralt!
yeah, his friend. That's the guy he's played by
What the fuck are you doing here?
Nivinen?
Son?
What did he say?
This is your
He's played by the guy from Game of Thrones.
Love!
Bruh. He just like conjure things out of nothing.
I'm fine.
You see my tusks and think I would bite the throat?
I mean, it's a legitimate question.
She is. I'm still me. Well,
He is
Bad trick.
quite a showman.
You gonna tell me what happened to you?
that's a tale requiring wine. What have you?
That's a tale requiring a wine cellar.
Time to get drunk. Let's go, boys. Hey, yo, quit creeping. What the frick is that? It sounded like a bird or an owl, but it looked like a person's face.
Those citizens, take shuffles, sweet
It
wine,
just
and
all
lots of
just
it.
drops out of the sky.
You, only the best. Witches quail.
I wonder if he's the one that's doing it, or maybe there's something up above. Whoever was peeking through the ceiling.
For my friend.
Tell us about your curse.
In front of the girl?
She's tougher than you think.
I was a homeless young twat. That's how.
Well, that's a swear word.
I trashed the temple of the lion-headed spider, high on goldflesh mushrooms.
All the mushrooms in the world wouldn't make anyone that stupid.
If only it was so.
He did it.
After the damage was... This priestess cursed me to live like this. Forever.
Wow.
Alone.
Can you fix it somehow? Was it Yennefer?
I've tried to end it, Geralt.
And you can't?
More than once.
Like the Hulk.
But I kept coming back.
It's not reason enough for an entire village to leave their homes.
It is when the wild hunt's riding over the horizon. I saw
Ooh.
myself just last week, riding a scared horses across the southern sky. A portent of doom.
No way.
Blades of Morg.
The Wild Hunt didn't do that though.
My grandfather.
The white flame will cleanse us all.
What? The White Flame. What is the White Flame?
So now I will take your knowledge, your memories, your very being,
That is.
and leave you cold and helpless, trapped in the
like a
eternal darkness
lobotomy.
of your own mind. And then you will know what a scream
my.
can really be.
Good gracious.
Elven warrior, human age, ordained by hate to kill, instead found love and ran away against their people's will.
I wish I could go back in time and save him. Save everyone.
Can I come
Well,
with you?
Siri.
I have a few things I should like to
I
change
have
myself.
news for you. Have you ever thought about opening portals to different universes and different times? Because you might want to try it someday.
Alive.
The mouse have told me of a hedgehog man who was cured by true love.
Yeah, your father.
He was probably worthy.
I watched my entire home burn to the ground at the hands of another. My family trapped inside.
She knows a monster when she sees it.
You don't seem like a monster to me.
I appreciate that, my dear. Monsters are more than just horrid looks and claws and teeth.
Monsters are born.
Yeah, we're judged by what we do. Ask Yelena Belova. And Batman. Do some investigating, brother. Maybe Siri went to do... Ooh, the footprints disappear. Something grew wings? Maybe that thing upstairs that killed those people is... Yeah, maybe that thing upstairs that was hiding is the thing that killed the people.
Now we're talking.
It's got wings and stuff.
What's so?
Oh no, maybe he missed on
Let's
purpose.
start with the obvious.
Just keeps missing.
What's your plan?
He's missing on purpose.
You've become a
Is he?
lightweight, old friend.
But have you told the girl the truth?
That
That
she's a-
witches obtain children so they can feed them with magic herbs. The few who survive become witches themselves.
All human feelings and reactions.
They are turned into monsters to kill other monsters.
Geralt
not going to
is
happen to
not
her.
completely that
What
way.
happened to you?
Not completely. All right
The
then,
look of a
brain.
man who's wondering why his old friend is cheating.
Oh yeah, okay. Magic daggers. That's why he was missing.
I know who you truly are. What are you hiding now?
What's upstairs? What in the grudge is that? Exorcist bullshiz. You weird snake looking mofo. You're definitely that thing that is eating the town, right? Who are you?
I'm different. I'm not you. But I am like you. Why do you travel with that man? I know what he is. He kills things.
Hell yeah, but he's a nice guy.
Are you a monster because you are different? Just do bad things to people. Humans do bad things to everybody.
Fair point. Time to do some investigating. Figure out what's going on here.
It flies.
Yep. Yep.
There's a Brookser in the house.
Ooh.
What are you doing? What's going on, Geralt?
No.
Brooks, is that Nivlin's friend? Is she a Brooksa? I remember last season they referenced Brooksa bait. I don't remember exactly what a Brooksa is, though. You eating him? Does he let you do that to him? Because he can't die. I think he lets her eat him because he can't die. He said he's tried to kill himself many times before. So she probably tried to kill him once and it didn't work. And so now they're like friends. She survives off eating him and he has a companion.
I don't want to hurt you.
Good. Woohoo! Geralt of Rivia. Something's gonna stop this fight from finishing. Clipped her.
I'll rip her throat out. Unless you leave us alone.
Leave us alone. Keyword there. Oh no.
Sorry.
Kinda haunting.
I love you. Love you.
Geralt. I don't think that was the best idea, man. He can't die, remember?
He'll come for you too.
Oh. Interesting. Why did he turn back into a guy? 'Cause someone finally declared their love for him?
This is what you call
To be fair though, once she said she loved him and then the curse was lifted, if he hadn't killed her, the next time she would have eaten at him, he would have died for real.
Love and blood. They both possess a mighty power.
Ooh, maybe someone had to say they loved him and then die.
For years. Raping the priestess.
Oh. Killing monsters.
Now.
That's what Geralt
Do it
does.
yourself.
Oh, man. That's sad.
I think there's something wrong with me. Where I go, people die. Sometimes
You are like chaos manifested, essentially.
I feel like I could burn the whole world. I wouldn't mean to. Just makes me so afraid. I want to die.
Facing your fear is not easy. But I am here for you. I won't let anything happen to you.
I like that.
Release me. You know I'm more powerful.
What is killing them? Oh, those are like spears on ropes. Interesting. Oh, come on, don't end there. Dang it. Stefan Surgic. You hooligan. Okay, so it is good. It's good to be back with The Witcher. This series is so good at really just making you think about like the ethics of what's going on, of like who is considered a monster, who is not a monster. That was always a pretty fun aspect of the games, is when you'd go on missions and you'd hear about what's happening and you'd gather evidence and go about the mission, and you got to decide really like, do I want to kill this person? Is the person hiring me the monster? Like, is this old lady asking me to find a pot? Is she the demon? Like, is this monster that's just trying to survive? Like, if that's what that thing has to do to survive, is it really like monstrous? I remember a cinematic trailer for The Witcher 3, I think, where there are these group of men that are gonna like hang this woman for, I forgot the reason, but they're gonna kill her. And Geralt's initially just gonna go by, and then they say something that makes him stop, and then he just like massacres all of them. And one of them asks, "What are you doing?" He says, "Killing monsters." So Geralt's definition of what a monster is, at least at that point in the game, is very fluid and dynamic. And I think that might be a journey that we go on with Geralt this season or more. Like, kind of started even last season, of like, you know, what he considers a monster may not be as binary as he thought it was. You know, started off with Renfrey. She's, you know, he's hired to kill her, and she does some horrible things that forces him to kill her, but he doesn't want to. And he kind of sees that the mage is more monstrous than she was, and then now he goes to visit his friend after this battle, any place they can to sleep, and he's just kind of confronted with the possibility that like his friend might be the monster in the end, and it's just rough. But yeah, we catch up after the battle. Tisea is looking for Yennefer, who is currently held captive by Fringilla and some Nilfgaardian people. And she is going to pretty much do whatever it takes to get this info. Because one, she wants to find out what happened to Yennefer. And two, she wants to stop the Nilfgaardian army from kind of taking over the world and having this white flame person kind of massacre his way through the nation. And she's torturing this dude. She's like, I'm gonna lobotomize you, and it's gonna be the worst pain you've ever felt. I have a feeling that this dude is not gonna be completely like brain dead at the end of it, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, as Geralt and Ciri are traveling, they find this village and it's like massacred, so they go visit Geralt's friend to seek shelter, and things seem good. He's putting on like this cheery showman bravado, and he's someone Geralt knew from long ago, right? And then due to, in his words, initially destroying the temple, he was cursed to live like this forever, until he finds true love and then loses it, blood and love or whatever. And the whole time you can kind of tell something's up, right? Like he's getting info from Geralt, he's cheating, he's telling these deep stories of the elf and the human about how these two very different sides that should have hated each other fell in love and had a kid. And so everything, if you look back, is kind of leading up to this revelation that he's keeping someone there. And you couldn't tell quite what it was at first. You knew it was a person's face, but it looked like sounds like an owl, like a bird, and I guess she has wings. So turns out that he found a Bruxa in the woods, and he lets her feed off of him because he can't die. So he, like, no matter what she does to him, he's pretty much fine. And then she chooses to stay with him. One, probably because she did love him. But two, it's kind of like free feeding, right? Like she doesn't have to put forth the effort of going to hunt people down or hunt animals down. And it seems to be working out great, but then she couldn't quite control her urges, and he turned a blind eye because he loved her. And so he's trying to hide her upstairs from Geralt and Ciri, but obviously this Bruxa has other plans, and she talks to Ciri while she's, in her bed. And we get a little bit of that philosophical, like, who is a monster, who's not a monster type thing, where this thing is like, hey, I'm not a monster. Like, I'm just like you. Like, we're both different. And she's kind of planting and fostering this seed in Ciri's mind of like, Ciri already thinks she's this weird kind of freak, right? And so when Geralt sees this monster and is like, time to kill this monster, it probably plants the idea in the future that Geralt might turn on her, especially after she gets her head chopped off. She literally mind tells her that. It's just like, bruh. The fight between them was pretty nice. I think Ciri is being confronted with a different side of Geralt. She knows he's gruff and doesn't talk much and is grumpy and all that jazz, but seeing him actually enter into the monster killing mode is probably a little frightening, right? Especially when she considers herself to be somewhat freaky and thinks she might burn the world down. And they don't want to fight, but like presumably, I guess so. The curse is kind of two-pronged, right? Like he had to find love and lose it via probably death or whatever. So presumably, I guess this could have kept going on forever, but she would have kept leaking out and killing more people, right? He wouldn't have been able to control that forever. I thought initially he just needed to have her like say that she loved him. And I was like, okay, but like then he turns back into a human and she eats him and then he actually dies. And then she just goes kills more people. So it's like unsustainable thing. But if the curse was kind of that two-pronged, she had to die as well, then it kind of could have gone on for as long as they needed it to. But she threatens Ciri and he stabs her through the chest, and she is gonna live through that. She's gonna be fine and feed on him until Geralt decapitates her with his silver sword, which that's the monster killing sword that'll like finish him for good. And his friend is like finally reveals the reason that he was cursed is not because he destroyed the temple, but because he raped the priestess, which in probably Geralt and Ciri's mind is like, okay, we're no longer friends with you. Because rape is bad. So if you know someone who's a rapist, don't be friends with them. That's a pretty scummy thing to do. And he's begging for them to kill him, and he's like, you're mortal now. Do it yourself. He's already tried many times before but he always wakes back up. But now, go for it, man. I wonder if he lost his like magical ability, because he seemed to be doing that magic, unless it was the girl doing that. I don't know. And then yeah, Ciri at the end explains, opens up to him, being like, I'm afraid of what's inside of me. I think I might, sometimes I think I might end the world and not mean to. And that's like some like legit stuff about Ciri. She has the power to like break the world in half. And all she needs is that positive figure to nurture her in the correct way. And Geralt is there. He's like, I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. And I think he means it, Meanwhile, he's been bummed about Yennefer this whole time. Turns out she's alive, and she's just being sassy as ever to Fringilla, and their little squad's on the run until they get attacked by something. I don't know. We don't know what it is yet, but it was like these giant long spears, or like javelins attached to ropes, and they took out all the men. So far, they didn't take them out, and then that's the end of the episode. So presumably they're going to have to fight their way out of something, or the good guys found them. I don't know. But this was a really strong episode back. I really, really enjoy The Witcher. There's only 8 episodes. Okay, so strong episode back. I'm excited to be back in the Witcher universe and learn more of the story, because I only played the games. I played The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3. The Witcher 2, I believe it came with like I don't remember if it came with like a recap type thing at the time, but I think I did some Wikipedia reading on the story of the first game at least, and then I played all the way through Witcher 2 and Witcher 3, every main side quest, all that jazz. So I'm familiar with where the story goes, but I guess the games take place a pretty decent chunk after this, obviously, because he's just meeting Ciri, and in the games she's like a 20, in Witcher 3 she's like a 23-year-old at least. So it's a few years yet. The Wild Hunt has not arrived. The mention of them though is very exciting. I'm super pumped to see them eventually. But I think that's all I gotta say about this episode. I liked it a lot. Great to be back. Let me know what you guys thought. Are you excited to be back watching The Witcher? I'm pumped. Yeah, let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you liked my reaction, please leave a like on the video. That means a ton to me. Helps my channel out a lot. If you're new here, consider subscribing and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you are interested in the full uncut reaction to this episode, consider checking out my Patreon. Like I said before, since this is the first episode of a new season, I will be posting that full uncut completely free in public for anyone to check out and see if that's something you're interested in going forward. And then on Patreon, you can also become a super supporter and get featured in every single one of my videos. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.